I never thought family could gut you worse than a street mugging in broad daylight. But there I was, staring at my laptop screen in my cramped Capitol Hill apartment, the cursor blinking like a taunt as Lila's email chain lit up my inbox. She'd forwarded my entire pitch deck, the one I'd slaved over for 2 years, to her sleazy execs at Apex Dynamics, complete with proprietary code snippets and supplier lists that could sink my little AI ethics consultancy before it even launched. And the kicker? She signed it off with, "Zoe's got some cute ideas, but let's poach him before she embarrasses herself." Poach, from her own blood. But what she didn't count on was me hitting send on that anonymous tip line an hour earlier, the one that would unravel her gilded cage from the inside out. Revenge isn't sweet, folks. It's a slow-burn acid that eats through everything, including the lies we tell ourselves to sleep at night. That email wasn't just a betrayal. It was the detonation of a decade-old bomb I'd buried deep. See, Lila and I grew up in the shadow of our folks' divorce in '09, right when the recession hit Seattle like a freight train. Dad bailed for Reno with his poker buddies. Mom drowned in nurse shifts at Swedish Medical, leaving us twins to fend for ourselves in a duplex that smelled like damp cedar and regret. I was the fixer, always the one patching leaks, literal and otherwise. Lila was the spark, all charisma and zero breaks. The girl who could charm a bar tab out of strangers, but couldn't keep a secret if it was gift-wrapped. It started senior year at Roosevelt High. Lila, queen bee of the debate team, got tangled in a pyramid scheme peddled by her boyfriend, some douchebag named Trent who'd drop out to flip cars. She funneled club funds, kids' dues for the Environmental Society, into his investment app, thinking it'd make her the next Zuckerberg. When it cratered, owing $5,000 she didn't have, the heat came down hard. Cops sniffing around, school board threatening expulsion, whispers of juvie rippling through the halls like bad weed. I could have let her swing. Hell, part of me wanted to watch her porcelain world crack while I skated clean with my straight A's and robotics club trophies. But blood's thicker than spite, right? So I did what any loyal sister would. I hacked the society's ledger from the library computer, rerouted the trail to my own dummy account, and confessed to Mom that I'd borrowed the cash for a prototype project. Cops bought it. 18-year-old geek girl with a sob story about college dreams? Slam dunk for leniency. I got probation, community service at a makerspace in Fremont, and a juvie record that dogged my apps for years. Lila? She slinked off to UW with a full ride in marketing, Trent in the rear view, and me footing the emotional bill. Fast forward 10 years. I'm Zoe Harlan, 32, bootstrapping Ethicode out of my one-bedroom, consulting on AI bias for nonprofits and scrappy startups who can't afford the big four. It's not glamorous, nights fueled by Stumptown cold brew and takeout pho from the International District, but it's mine. Ethical audits, transparency tools, the kind of work that keeps algorithms from screwing over the little guy. Lila, meanwhile, climbed Apex Dynamics like a greased pole, from junior analyst to regional director, schmoozing VCs in tailored J.Crews and posting Insta-brunches at Canlis. We talked monthly, surface-level stuff. Mom's hip surgery, my dry spells on Hinge, her latest power couple breakup. Sisters, right? Thick as thieves, until she needed something to steal. It was 2 weeks ago, over Zoom from her Belltown condo, that the mask slipped. Zoe, babe, Apex is launching this AI division. Huge, like, transformative. Your little side hustle? Adorable, but why not collab? Send me the deets. I'll pitch you to Harlan. Our CEO, total bro. Harlan. Ironic name, but the guy's a shark in khakis, built Apex on scraping ethics for profit margins. I hesitated. My IP was gold, the kind that could get poached and perverted into surveillance slop. But family. So I zipped over the deck, password protected, with a cheeky note. Don't make me regret this, sis. Love, Z. Regret hit like a sounder's loss in extra time. 3 days later, my inbox explodes, suppliers ghosting, a cold call from Apex's acquisitions team, offering pennies on the dollar for Ethicode scraps. Then Lila's forward, timestamp 2:17 a.m. Insomniac scheming, classic her. Team, check this out. Zoe Harlan's got naive gems here. Let's dissect and deploy before she wakes up. Attached, my deck, cracked wide, plus margin notes like bias detector, flipped to predictive policing, goldmine. I puked into my kitchen sink, the metallic tang of betrayal mixing with yesterday's ramen. How? The password. I'd used our childhood cat's name, Whiskers, because sentimental fool. But deeper. This wasn't impulse. It was calculated. Lila's emails referenced synergies with Apex's new contract, a DoD bid for AI vetting. My tools could have made it ethical. Instead, she'd twisted them into weapons. And the secret she'd buried? Our shared last name masked it, but Harlan wasn't coincidence. Mom's maiden name, yeah, but Lila had name-dropped it in her climb, leveraging the family tie to Apex's founder, our estranged uncle, who'd ghosted after Dad's mess. Rage settled like Puget Sound fog, thick and unyielding. I paced my apartment, rain lashing the windows, plotting. Revenge isn't a Netflix binge. It's architecture built on blueprints of pain. First dig. I dusted off my old scripting chops, Python bots scraping LinkedIn, Wayback Machine dives into Apex's filings. Turns out, Lila's rise wasn't merit, it was leverage. 10 years back, same year as the pyramid fiasco, she'd consulted for a vendor, skimming kickbacks on a software license. Petty? Sure, but in Harlan's world, it's felony territory, wire fraud, if audited. She'd covered it with forged receipts, but I'd spotted the glitch in her old emails, archived in our shared Google Drive from college care packages. I'd known. Filed it away like the probation scar on my record. Now, ammo. But straight shots miss. I needed ricochet. Enter the tip line. SEC whistleblower portal, anonymous, with docs redacted just enough to implicate senior leadership, without fingering her outright. Attach whispers of the DoD bid, unethical AI sourcing, courtesy of my dissected deck. Let the feds chew on that. Step 2. Infiltrate. Lila's boss, Harlan himself, was key, a golf buddy of Dad's from Reno days, reconnected via her schmoozing. I finagled an invite to Apex's innovation mixer at the Museum of Flight, faking a +1 as Ethicode rep, merger interest. Dress, thrift store blazer from Crossroads, heels that pinched like guilt. The hall buzzed, drones overhead, craft IPAs flowing, execs in untucked button-downs pontificating blockchain salvation. Lila spotted me across the room, flute of bubbly mid-sip, eyes narrowing like a cat in headlights. Zoe, what the you're crashing? Her laugh was barbed wire, drawing a circle of VPs. I smiled all teeth. Heard about the AI push. Thought I'd drop in. You know, family discount. Whispers rippled. She flushed, steering me to a corner. This is cute, but back off. Your stuff's already in play. I leaned in, voice honeyed venom. Play fair, sis. Or remember Whiskers. Passwords cut both ways. She paled, but the hook was set. Harlan lumbered over then, silver fox in a polo stretched over a paunch, extending a meaty hand. Zoe Harlan? Lila's kin. Heard the buzz, ethic whatever. Spill. I did, twisting the knife. Outlined Ethicode's value, but laced with barbs about internal leaks compromising IP. His brow furrowed. Lila interjected, shrill. She's exaggerating. We were just brainstorming. But the seed sprouted. By night's end, he'd slipped me his card. Monday board meet. Bring the deck. Clean. Monday dawned gray, Seattle's eternal overcast mirroring my gut churn. I prepped like a deposition, slides scrubbed of her fingerprints, projections amped to show Ethicode as Apex's ethical savior, not scavenger. The boardroom was glass-walled intimidation, Elliott Bay glittering below like fool's gold. Suits filed in, VPs with Rolex glints, Harlan at head, Lila to his right, lips pursed in a rictus smile. Let's make this quick, Harlan boomed, nodding me forward. I launched, voice steady, demos crisp, painting a future where Apex led with integrity, not infamy. Murmurs of approval, Lila fidgeted, shooting glares that could curdle cream. Then the pivot. Of course, this vision hinges on uncontaminated assets. Recent exposures have risked our standing. But with proper stewardship, I paused, eyes locking Harlan's. We reclaim it. He leaned back, fingers steepled. Silence stretched, taut as a hung jury. Lila broke it. Zoe's passionate, but unrealistic. We've got momentum without her fairy tales. Snickers from her allies. But Harlan's gaze sharpened, flicking to her, then me. Momentum built on sand, Lila. That DoD sniff? SEC's circling like vultures. Your brainstorm? He air-quoted, voice dropping. Leaked assets? Not the play. Her face drained to ash. What? I. Save it. He turned to the board. Gentlemen, ladies, meet your new CEO of Ethical Integrations, Zoe Harlan. She'll fold Ethicode in, clean house, and steer us right. Effective immediate. The room erupted. Claps, gasps, Lila's chair scraping as she bolted, heels clacking fury down the hall. I stood there, crown heavy, the board's eyes on me like spotlights. Victory? Or just the first crack in the mirror? But as the applause died, my phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from an unknown. Nice move, sis. But you think I didn't plant my own bomb? Check the drive. Whiskers says meow. Heart slamming. I pulled it up later, alone in Harlan's corner office they'd thrust me into. There, in our old folder, not just her skimmed receipts, but mine. The pyramid hack. I'd left a digital breadcrumb, a backdoor in the school server logs, time-stamped to her IP. Forged? No. I'd pinned it on her all along. A sleeper cell of code waiting for activation. Twist. I'd been revenging since the start. Taking the fall. Partial truth. I'd covered, but rigged the escape hatch. Now, with her exposed, the feds would dig and find me clean, her buried. Or would they? The log blurred intent. Was it mercy or manipulation? As sirens wailed distant in the city night, I wondered, hero or villain? And did it even matter when the throne felt this cold? The first week as CEO was a fever dream scripted by Kafka on a bender. Board meetings morphing into strategy sessions, my inbox a deluge of NDAs and equity offers, all while Lila's ghost haunted the vents like a bad HVAC hum. I'd moved into a sublet in South Lake Union, Tech Bro Central, trading my frayed yoga pants for pencil skirts that chafed like unspoken apologies. Harlan kept his distance, a nod here, a keep-it-tight grunt there, but his eyes lingered, appraising, like I was the filly he'd bet the farm on. And through it all, that text gnawed at me, a loose thread in a sweater of lies. Whiskers meow. I'd checked the drive obsessively. Her files intact, mine scrubbed. But doubt is a Seattle drizzle, persistent, soaking to the bone. Lila vanished post-boardroom, radio silent. No voicemails laced with venom, no passive-aggressive LinkedIn endorsements. Just crickets, louder than any scream. Mom called from her assisted living in Bellevue, voice quivering over speaker. Zoe Bear, Lila's not answering. Something about work? You girls okay? I fed her the sanitized reel, sibling rivalry turned collab, big sis stepping up. We're golden, Mom. Promise. Lie tasted like the instant oatmeal I'd microwaved at dawn, lumpy and forced. But protection mode dies hard. Even now, with her perched on my pedestal, I shielded the fractures. Work swallowed the void. Ethicode's integration was a beast, my solo op ballooning to a 20-head team overnight, audits stacking like Jenga on steroids. I hired poached talent from Lila's old circle, the ones who'd chuckled at her pitch, now kissing rings for redemption. Your vision's fire, Zoe, gushed Marcus, ex-VP of Ops, over Slack huddles. Fire? More like controlled burn, singeing edges without torching the house. But cracks showed. DoD bid wobbled under SEC scrutiny, whispers of internal irregularities floating like vape clouds in the break room. My anonymous tip had landed. All right, feds requesting docs, Harlan sweating in closed doors. And me? The ethical white knight, or the Trojan horse? Nights blurred into reconnaissance. I hit the underbelly of Seattle's net, dark web forums in Tor, burner accounts on Reddit's r/conspiracy, tracing Lila's digital exhaust. She'd bolted to an Airbnb in Ballard, posting cryptic stories, black coffee solos, ferry rides to Bainbridge, captions like, rebooting the narrative Phoenix Rising. Theatrics, her brand. But deeper dives uncovered the scheme. Pre-exposure, she'd looped in a VC shark, Ellis Crow, pitching stolen IP as her brainchild. Crow bid, wired her a bridge loan. Off books, the kind that screams money laundering if audited. My sister's not dumb. She's a chameleon, flipping loyalties like flapjacks at a diner. The flip came Thursday, 3 a.m., insomnia's witching hour. My phone lit up. Lila, video call, face gone under harsh fluorescence, backdrop a dive bar's neon glow. Zoe, we talk. Now. No pleasantries. Her eyes were feral, mascara smudged like war paint. I propped against my headboard, city hum filtering through cracked blinds. Talk. After you gutted me. You gutted yourself, playing martyr. Her laugh cracked, bitter as Rainier cherry. That probation? I knew you rigged it. Saw the code in your notebook. Took the hit to own me, huh? Big sis complex. Shock rippled. Truth's a gut punch, even when you swing first. Then why expose me? Jealous of my little hustle? Survival, Zoe. Apex was my ticket out. Harlan's nepotism your uncle dangled, but he wanted results. Your deck? Collateral. I figured you'd fold, we'd merge on my terms. Her voice dipped, conspiratorial. But Crow's in. 50 mil valuation if we spin Ethicode rogue. Ditch Apex, sis. Us against them. Like old times. Old times. The pyramid echo hung. Tempting. Flip the script. Expose Harlan's skeletons. His Reno gambling debts tied to Apex slush funds. Dad's old IOUs. We'd burn it down together. Rise from ashes as co-founders of something untainted. My pulse thrummed. Revenge bifurcated. Sisterly bond a siren call. What's the catch? She leaned in, pixels pixelating her smirk. Catch? Trust. Delete the tip, call off the dogs. Meet me at the locks, dawn. Ballard's my turf. Click. Screen black. I tossed fitfully, dreams of locks and keys, whiskers clawing at locked doors. Dawn broke slate gray. I drove the Volvo, hand-me-down from Mom. Through slick streets, wipers slapping rhythm. The Hiram Chisholm locks teemed with salmon leaps, tourists snapping pics. But Lila waited in the shadows of the fish ladder, bundled in a parka, breath fogging like unspoken sins. You're late, she snapped, but hugged fierce, bones sharp under wool. We walked the path, salmon thrashing below like futile escapes. Plan solid, she murmured. Crow's team audits Apex tomorrow. Your ethics angle sells it clean. We whistleblow joint, take the bounty, launch Harlan Sisters tech poetic, right? Poetic. Or poetic justice deferred. As gulls wheeled overhead, I nodded, mind racing subcurrents. Trust? I'd brought insurance, a thumb drive in my pocket, Crow's wire trace, timestamp to her account. One press, and her bridge loans a noose. But her eyes, mirror of mine, pleaded, redeem us. In, I said. Handshake sealed, electric. Back at Apex, the hive buzzed frenzy. Harlan cornered me in the exec kitchen, coffee breath hot. SEC's hot. Your sister's name's floating. Clean it, Zoe, or we're sunk. His paw clamped my shoulder, grip vice. Family first, yeah? I smiled, saccharine. Always. But as he lumbered off, I fired the email, Crow's prelim report, anonymized, to the board. Not full expose, just enough to spook, position me as savior. Lila texted mid-afternoon. Locks tonight? Finalize. Adrenaline surged. The flip was mine. I arrived early, dusk bleeding purple over the sound, locks humming with boat traffic. She emerged from fog, duffel slung. Docs? Cash. Zoe. This is it. But I held up the drive, glinting. Your loan, sis. Crow's not VC. He's a front for Apex's offshore. You knew. Her face crumpled, then hardened, chameleon shift. Knew? I played it. Harlan's puppet, pulling my strings since UW. The skim? His test. Exposure? To force your hand. Lies layered like onion skin, peeling to pulp. Then why run? To free us. Scream echoed off concrete. A beat, then her whisper. Or end it. She lunged, not for the drive, but the railing, teetering over churning water. Impulse seized. I grabbed, yanking back, duffel spilling, photos tumbling. Us kids at Alki Beach, Mom's obit draft. Wait, she's alive. Harlan's affair snaps with a board aid. Chaos cascaded. Sirens wailed. Someone's 911. Cops swarmed, questions barraging. Lila, cuffed loose for attempt, spat. She set me up. I clutched the drive, truth fracturing. Her Phoenix was suicide note. Crow's wire a Hail Mary to bail. My revenge? Pushed her ledge. Harlan bailed her by midnight. Leverage his forte. Board reconvened dawn. Me at head. Drive projected. Lila's entanglements, but twisted. She was rogue. I lied smooth. I contained it. Votes swung. CEO title solidified, but hollow. As she slunk past my office later, eyes dead fish, she hissed. Your win, Zoe. But Mom knows now. The rig, the fall. Enjoy the view. View from the 20th floor. City sprawl. Indifferent. Mom's call confirmed. Lila's confession dump. Pyramid truth aired. Why, Zoe? Why not let her face it? Voice broke. Mine too. Revenge's aftertaste. Ash. Yet the game wasn't quartered. SEC rated Apex noon. Feds and windbreakers hauling servers. Harlan vanished, Reno bound, leaving me holding the bag, or the crown. Press swarmed. Ethicode savior or corporate Judas? Polarizing indeed. And Lila? Holed in a motel off Aurora, plotting flip 3. Sisters don't end. They evolve, venom refined. The raid was spectacle straight out of a Scandi noir. Black SUVs clogging the SLU garage, agents in crisp navy flashing badges like Judgment Day invites. I watched from my office perch, coffee cooling untouched, as Marcus and the team milled in the lobby like spooked cattle. Zoe, what the fuck? His text pinged. Your sis. Deny? No point. The board's emergency zoom lit up, faces pixelated panic. Harlan's AWOL. Bart Delana, CFO, her Botox mask cracking. SEC's got warrants. Fraud, laundering, the works. Your play. My play. The drive's contents, selectively shared, had snowballed. Crow's VC a shell for Apex's Cayman accounts. Lila skimmed the tip of an iceberg calving embezzlement. But I'd redacted her deepest cut. The suicide flirt, the mom obit fake-out, a prop? Or premonition? Containment. I echoed Harlan's ghost. We pivot to Ethicode core, ethical rebuild. I'm in the crosshairs too, but clean. Murmurs. Then Elena. Interim CEO. Prove it. Gavel dropped virtual. Throne wobbled, but held. Press descended like gulls on fries. King. 5 vans double parked. Reporters badgering the glass doors. Ms. Harlan. Is this payback for the leak? One shouted, Mike thrust like a lance. I stonewalled. No comment scripted tight, but inside, carnage. Servers seized, emails subpoenaed, my tip line ping exposed, anonymous veil thin. Feds would trace. Was it whistle or witch hunt? Lila's words looped. You set me up. Projection or prophecy? Midday, she materialized in the lobby, uncuffed, but shadowed by a PI type. Harlan's fixer, no doubt. Visitor, buzzed security. I met her in the atrium, koi pond gurgling mockery. Up close, she was wreckage. Hair lank, eyes ringed bruise purple. Parka swapped for a threadbare hoodie. Talk, she demanded, voice raw oyster. We retreated to a neutral conference room. Glass walls, no blinds. Transparency's cruel joke. You won, she started, slumping into ergonomic. Apex is yours, rubble heap, but yours. Crow's ghosting, feds froze everything. Mom's spiraling. Thinks we're both monsters. Her fingers drummed. Morse for regret? Why push, Zoe? The rig was mercy. Mercy. I exploded, chair shoving back. You stole my launch, twisted my code for kill chains. DoD bid? Drones profiling neighborhoods like mine. Black and brown kids funneled to cuffs. Seattle's underbelly flashed. Aurora Avenue hustles. Over police shadows where Mom moonlighted as a home health aide. That wasn't brainstorm, it was burial. She flinched, then rallied, chameleon scales iridescing. Burial? Try resurrection. Harlan groomed me. Family legacy, he called it. The skim? His hazing. Exposure? To test you. He bet you'd crumble. I bet you'd burn. Pause, loaded. We both lost the pot. Groomed. The word slithered, unlocking vaults. Uncle Harlan, Dad's brother, the ghost who'd funded Lila's tuition anonymously, pulled strings for her internships. Our blood, diluted poison. And the ledge? The obit prop. Prop, she admitted, gaze skittering. Crow's pressure, deliver or drown. I staged it, leaked to you via text. Wanted you to pull me back, like always. Tears tracked, genuine. Sisters Zoe. Flip with me, sue Apex joint, split the settlement. Mom's medical's covered. We goes to Portland, start clean. No crowns. Temptation coiled. Portland's microbrew haze a bomb. But the drive burned pocket phantom. Full files, unredacted. Her ledgers linking to Harlan's slush. Hand it over? Endgame mercy. Or squeeze. Tomorrow, I hedged. Feds depose me noon. Post that. She nodded. Hug brittle. Scent of cheap motel soap and Chanel knockoff. As she exited, PI trailing, my resolve fractured. Mercy or manipulation? Call Mom. No. Her why? Echoed, indictment enough. Instead, I dove archives. Lila's UW thesis, plagiarized from my robotics notes. Her first Apex review, crediting sibling insights. Parasite or partner? The line blurred, American Dream's fine print. Deposition dawned in a federal holdover downtown. Sterile conference. 2 suits grilling over lukewarm Perkins. Ms. Harlan, your tip. motivated by sibling rivalry? Agent Ruiz, Latina steel, eyes like lie detectors. I spun straight. Leaks pain, ethical breach, no malice. Family complicates, agent. But right's right. They nodded, but the follow. Your record. '09 juvenile fraud. Related. Hearts stuttered. The pyramid ghost, expunged but etched. Unrelated. Borrowed funds, repaid with interest. Half-truth. They bought, but suspicion lingered. Pose to pose, Lila waited curbside, coffee peace offering. Clear. Not. We drove, my Volvo, her navigating to Gasworks Park, relic silos stark against overcast. Tourists picnicked oblivious. We claimed a bench, sound lapping like confessions. Files, she prompted. I handed the drive. Baited, a tracker script embedded, pinging to my cloud. Trust test. She plugged into her phone, scrolling. Clean. Good. Then, flip. Harlan's calling, Reno line. Wants Parley. You in? Parley. The Schemers Summit. Why me? Your CEO. Leverage. Her smile, wolfish. Or bait. We met at a neutral. Pike Place underbelly. Fishmongers hollering camouflage. Harlan arrived incognito. Ball cap. Shades. Paunch testing a flannel. Diner booth. Greasy spoons clattering. Girls. He boomed. Faux avuncular. Family mess. SEC's bluff. Pay the fine. Rebrand. You too helm the Phoenix. Legacy. Legacy. The word curdled. His Reno bailouts for dad's debts. Puppeteering Lila's ascent. My fall the collateral. Terms. I probed. Voice even. Quiet. No suits. Lila walks. You integrate full. His eyes flicked, calculating odds. Lila tensed beside me. Foot tapping Morse. Choose. Choose. The polarizing crux. Fold for family facade, or shatter for solitary justice. I met her gaze. Mirror plea. Then Harlan's. One condition. Full audit. Your slush exposed. Clean slate. Bluff. Feds had threads. He barked laugh. Bold. Deal. If you bury the pyramid. Your rig, Zoe. Expunge mutual. Checkmate flicker. He knew the hack's duality. My code pinned her, but metadata looped us tandem. Lila's hand gripped mine under table. Alliance or anchor? We take it, she whispered. Harlan nodded, vanishing into market throng. Victory? Or vortex? That night, alone, the tracker pinged. Drive accessed in a Fremont warehouse. Crow's shell address. Lila's play. Copy to him. Double dip. Betrayal redux. Rage ignited. I forwarded chords to Ruiz. Anonymous nudge. Raid 2 brewing. But as dawn crept, guilt gnawed. Was I pushing her pyre? Or pruning the vine? Sisters bond. American tinsel. Stretch till snap. The snap loomed. Boardroom echo. Crown or curse. The warehouse raid hit like a microburst. Dawn choppers thumping over Fremont's trolls and taggers. Feds breaching corrugated doors with battering rams that echoed like thunderclaps in my skull. I watched live feed on a burner app, courtesy of a mole in Ruiz's unit. Marcus, trading intel for Ethicode equity. Grainy bodycam. Lila cornered amid server racks. Crow in cuffs spouting legalese. Drives yanked like rotten teeth. Zoe, her scream pierced static, raw as a gutting. You bitch. Not sister, Judas. Apex imploded concurrent. Stock plummeting on pre-market news. Board fracturing into lit camps. Sumi faction versus jumpship. Elena cornered me via Zoom from her yacht in Anacortes. Interim's over, Zoe. Full CEO, but clean the blood. Harlan's suing, defamation. Blood. The word stuck, metallic. My hands shook signing off on PR spins. Apex commits to transparency. Ghostridden by crisis hacks charging hourly like vampires. Lila's arraignment streamed local. King 5's noon slot. Her in orange jumpsuit. Hair scraped back. No chameleon gloss. No bail. Intoned the judge. Her eyes locking camera. Mine? Dull with defeat. Mom's follow-up call was a dirge. Zoe, she's broken. Says you rigged everything. From school to now. What? Why? The unanswerable. American as apple pie regret. Protection gone wrong, Mom. Love's messy. Hung up. Throat tight. Loves the blade we wield dullest. Rebuild consumed days. Ethicode rebranded Apex Ethics. Team swelled to 50. Grants pouring from feds sniffing redemption PR. I keynote at Techstar Seattle. Stage lights hot. Crowd of hoodied hopefuls hanging on integrity in AI sermons. Applause thundered, but hollow. Post-talk, a heckler cornered. Family destroyer or reformer? Pick a lane, Harlan. Polarize achieved. Twitter ablaze. Zoe versus Lila trending. Memes of us as Lannisters with salmon crowns. Nights, the haunt. Dreams of locks. Lila teetering, my yank a shove. Wake sweat-soaked, scrolling her docket. Wire fraud, conspiracy, but plea bargaining whispers. Harlan's suit loomed. Discovery mining our shared dirt. Pyramid code, my probation plea. Mutual assured destruction. I lawyered up, pro bono from a ACLU buddy, trading audit favors. Flip 4 landed Friday. Collect call from King County. Lila, voice sandpaper. Visit. No trackers. I went. Visitor's room sterile as a psych ward. Plexiglass partitioning us like original sin. She looked shrunk, jumpsuit swallowing frame, but eyes sparked. Scheme's ember. Parley too, she rasped. Harlan's folding. Settles if we testify joint. You take the fall redux. 09 rig as adult consent. I walk lighter. Fall. Again. The pattern, Sisyphean. Why me? Always the fixer. Balance, she countered, palm to glass. You stole my agency, hacked the ledger to save me, but locked the narrative. Exposure? Payback. Ledge? Mirror. Now, symmetry. You confess, I redeem. Her logic twisted like DNA double helix, finding us toxic. Mom's dying, Zoe, real this time. Hips cancer shadow. Needs us whole. Cancer. The gut kick landed. Mom's evasions clicked. Canceled brunches, voice fatigue. Liar lure. Proof. Sell to her, ask. Click. I did post-visit. Benign cyst, Zoe. Don't let Lila gaslight. Relief spiked. Then suspicion. Lila's prop game. Obit fake-out redux. But the plea nod. Symmetry. Was revenge cycle or redemption arc? Harlan's settlement party convened neutral. Vashon Island ferry house. Rain lashing decks like judgment. He arrived yacht tanned. Entourage slim. Fixer, a notary. Lila, released conditional, in civvies, jeans, hoodie, gaunt but groomed. We three at a driftwood table, espresso steaming. Terms etched. Apex dissolves ethics arm to me. Slush forgiven. Pyramid plea joint. Me adult accessory. Her juvenile dupe. Family closes ranks. Harlan toasted, eyes glinting avarice. Lila's foot nudged mine, signal? I nodded, signing prelims. But as notary stamped, my phone vibrated. Ruiz text. Crow flipped. Lila's the architect. Your drive? Bait she swallowed. Architect. The chameleon queen, flipping Harlan via Crow, me via sympathy. The settlement? Her exit ramp, laundering clean. Rage crested, title. I feigned migraine, bolting to the deck. Rain sheeting, fairy horns moaning. Harlan pursued. Zoe? Deals Inc. I whirled. Your niece is the spider. Knew the skim, fed the exposure script. Pyramid? She goaded the scheme. I cleaned. His face slackened, puppet strings cut. Proof. Ruiz. Incoming. Sirens distant, but closing. Vashon PD, tipped anonymous. Me, mid-drive. Chaos. Harlan cuffed dockside. Lila bolting tree line. Me directing. She's headed bluff trail. Foot chase through sodden ferns. Breath burning. Skirt hiked absurd. Caught her at overlook. Puget churning below. Same locks echo. Zoe. Pant, plea. It was for us. Harlan's empire. Our inheritance twisted. I flipped to free it. Free. I gasped. Drive. Retrieved from her bag and scuffle. Thrust forward. This logs it all. Your crow meets. Harlan bribes. My confession forged by you. Truth avalanche. The rig code? Her suggestion. Notebook, borrowed post facto. I'd fixed, but she'd framed. Subtle script tweak. IP hers. She sagged against rail. Rain mingling tears. Then end it. Push. Or pull. Your call. Polarized zenith. No right. No wrong. Just us. Mirrors cracked. Feds crested ridge. Light strobing. My hand extended. Not push. Not pull. But cuff pass. Sis, I whispered. We both fall. Arrest montage. Her zip tied. Harlan helicoptered. Me deposed anew. Hero whistle. Or complicit kin. Press frenzy peaked. Harlan twins. Empire of lies? Debates raged. Podcasts pitting ruthless climber. Lila versus enabler avenger me. Mom's final call. Enough, girls. Blood's not bond. Hung up. Silence deafening. But the climax crested not in cuffs, but quiet. Plea deal brokered. Lila 5 years federal. Me immunity for testimony. Apex Ashes birthed Zoe Ethics. Nonprofit. Grants flowing. Team loyal. Victory Pyrrhic. Throne vacant. As sentencing loomed, her letter smuggled. Twist coming. Watch the will. Will. Harlan's? Mom's. The deepened. Tension coiled for drop. Sentencing dawned crisp. Anomaly in Seattle's gloom. Courtroom bathed federal sun. Wooden benches creaking under spectator weight. Reporters, ex-Apex drones. Mom in front row, cane tapping resolve. Lila shuffled in. Chains muted, orange traded for tan suit. Last chameleon shift, dignity's drape. I testified crisp. Facts. No flourishes, Ruiz nodding approbation. Your Honor, the fraud web spanned family. Fortune. Ms. Harlan Jr. architected much, but remorse evident. Remorse? Her eyes met mine across aisle. Defiant spark, or dimming fire. Judge, grizzled vet, weighed present. Conspiracy's cancer, but rehabilitation possible. 5 years, supervised release. Community service and ethics edition. Gavel soft, but seismic. Lila's gaze held. Thanks? Threat? Mom gripped my arm post. Heal now, Zoe. No more games. Heal. Word foreign as forgiveness. Zoe Ethics launched gala that week. Space Needle Pinnacle. Donors and tuxes toasting new dawn. I speechified smooth. From betrayal's brink, integrity rises. Claps cascaded. But under, the letter burned pocket. Twist. Harlan's will reads dual heirs. You and me. But clause. Joint venture, or forfeit to state. Mom knew. Her cancer prop, to force merge. Game's not over. Love L. Prop. The masterstroke. Lila's scaffold. Harlan's codicil unearthed by feds. Mom complicit? No. Her voicemails replayed. Subtle nudges towards sister summit. Twist unraveled afternoon. Probate lawyer's office in Pioneer Square. Musty with old money. Harlan's estate. Apex remnants. Reno properties. Split 50-50, but linchpin. Heirs must co-found Harlan Legacy Fund. Ethical AI nonprofit, or assets as cheat. Co-found. The Revenge Ouroboros. Betrayal's loop closing, forcing alliance. Mom confessed over tea at her place. He called pre-raid, protect the girls. I fed the cis tale, hoped it'd bond you. Bond. American family alchemy. Turn lead lies to gold grudges? Lila released pending appeal, ankle monitors ironic leash. We met neutral. Kerry Park, skyline vista mocking our smallness. She arrived limping slight. Coffee bearer? Peace? Will's trap, she acknowledged, handing over. Harlan's last flip, unite or lose. Unite, I echoed, wind whipping. Terms, no schemes. Real ethics, your marketing, my code. Her laugh, genuine fracture. Deal. But twist mine, the pyramid? I didn't goad. Trent did. Abuser, beat the scheme into me. You fixed. I let you, guilt's chain. Revelation rippled. Victim veiled as viper, my fixer role complicit blindness. Why hide? Fear you'd pity. Better villain than victim. Tears, unfeigned. Embrace followed. Raw, rain-scented, sisters stripped. Legacy Fund chartered month later. Bellevue HQ. Team hybrid. My coders, her schmoozers. Donors flocked. DOD pivoted grants ethical. Mom's hip mended. Brunches resumed. 3 of us. Laughing over foe. Scar tissue strong. But lingers. Is it happy? Tragic? Harlan's ghost chuckles. No clean wins, just endless flips. Press debates. Redemption arc or relapse wait. I wake some nights. Doubts drizzle. Did I push too far? Pull too late. Zoe Harlan. CEO of what? Ruins rebuilt, or illusions intact. Last hook. Lila's whisper at launch gala. Glass clinking. One more secret. The exposure email? Hacked by me. To you, not Apex. Bait to spark your fire. Mind reeled. Her leak allure. My revenge her script? Or mine? The polarizing end. No victors, just players in Blood's theater, debating the curtain call. Fade to sound's fog. Tense. Eternal. American as unresolved rain.